Let's see. Are we live yet? It says we're live. Okay. Let's double check, see if you're here.
So I click there.
Yeah. Well, what's up, guys and gals? Tanner Larson here, along with my business partner, Matthew Stafford from Build, Grow, Scale. And we decided, hey, it's about time for that. Let's do another live Shopify roast where we go through and critique one of the most popular upcoming trending or whatever Shopify stores on the net and see what's good, see what's bad, and see what's ugly, right? So today we are actually going to be critiquing and roasting. It starts with us as a critique, but we usually turns into a roast, which makes it kind of a lot more fun. Jeffree Star Cosmetics, which is kind of a drag queen beauty site. And it's actually currently the #1 Shopify store based on traffic, not sales, but traffic. It's getting the most traffic of any store out there on the Shopify platform. So we decided to take a look at it, see what's up, see what's good, see what's bad. And honest to gosh, it's mostly bad. So we're going to show you some pretty good stuff about how you can fix your site. So what we want you to do is come along with us on this little journey. And as we go through each page of the site, take notes, see what we're telling you, the principles that we're using as to what's bad, what's good, and how you can take this knowledge and then apply it to your own store to make it better. One of the reasons we do these things is that there's so many Me Too marketers out there that are constantly, built or store owners that they see big sites or sites that are supposed to be doing well, and they simply just copy what those sites are doing and thinking that, well, hey, if this site's doing it, it must be tested, it must be proven, and it must be true. Is it?
No, not at all.
Not at all.
Not at all.
Okay, so what we're trying to do by showing you guys is that some of the biggest stores in the world, we've done Kylie Jenner's store, we've done Diff Eyewear, we've done a bunch of others, and they're all have a lot of things they're doing wrong. Yes, they're making money, but there's so many things they could be doing better. And if you simply blindly go out there and copy what these other stores are doing, you don't have the brand presence and the awareness and the traffic and the money and the stuff that they have. So it puts you in a worse position. Okay, you're not going to get the benefit and get away with the things that they're making mistakes on. All right, so this site is all about, this jam session is all about really just ripping apart Jeffree Star Cosmetics, and in a loving way. Yeah. Like we're going to say some mean things about how the site works, but it's not with the intent to say that it's a bad company. Clearly they're doing something right because they're getting a massive amount of traffic.
Yeah, they got an audience. They have media. Now we're just going to show them how they could use their media better.
Absolutely. But there's definitely a lot more that they can be doing correctly to boost the performance of what they're getting out of their stores. So what we're going to do now is we're going to jump over to the store. I'm going to share the screen and you'll hear us keep talking and kind of roasting the site as we go along. And we'll try to keep you in the loop as we go as to what we're thinking and why these processes and these principles that we're sharing are important.
Try to unpause the recording.
All right. So just bring this over here so I can see it. Got my other screen over there. We're sharing. So we're going to go ahead and load this site in an incognito window so you can see everything as if it was our first time seeing this site. And we're going to go through it step by step. Okay. So let's hit enter and get this sucker loading. All right. So Jeffree Star Cosmetics, obviously it's a makeup site, which you would only know from the cosmetic brand, but not from anything else as you look at it. So you want to take away on this, start on?
Yeah, well, for sure, one of the things that I'm going to notice the most is how thick the banner is without any type of search bar. They also don't, I don't know if they use accounts or sign-ins, but that shouldn't be a prominent thing that people would do right off the bat. The fact that the navigation is hard to read because of the color combination, and then that their most valuable space that they're using, which is their banner, is it's announcing a release of something, but there's really no unique value proposition to that other than that's when that product is going to be released. They're not telling you what it is, what's special about it, what's different about that than their normal everyday products. So they're literally losing valuable real estate and not being very clear about why that's important.
And we're talking about above the fold here, which is when someone lands on a homepage or on any site, above the fold is your most valuable real estate because it's what you have to capture their attention before they bounce. So right here, there is no call to action. The point of the homepage is to show them whether they're in the right spot, and then to get them off the homepage into a product page or wherever they need to go from there. Yet here, there's nothing that tells the user what to do. You don't want them to have to guess. They need to know exactly what to do, and there's nothing here. And if you scroll, you go right into the footer. There's literally no value to this homepage besides, well, really nothing. It's hard all the way around.
The one thing that they can do is use the menu, and the menu is set up properly. Or improperly.
And they can't even read it, and it doesn't actually help them go anywhere. Okay. No search. The sign in or create account, honestly, add a header. 99% of the stores out there don't use it. So it's wasted real estate and should be taken off.
And if they do use it, it should be in the footer. Those are your people that have already bought and shopped from you. Typically, you're going to send them back to their account from an email, from a product delivery, from a special promotion that only they get. You don't need to have it be something that 99% of your users have to read through in order to actually see what you're offering.
Now, one thing they are doing well is they are using a free shipping threshold to get orders over $100. The problem is you can barely read it, but it's awesome that it's there because that is a great way to do it. Whether it's free shipping on all orders, or in this case, you typically do it if your average order value is $75, then you would set your free shipping threshold at $100 to get them to spend a little bit more to increase the AOV before then offering free shipping. So that's a good thing that they are doing here. So now if we get in here, we've got this kind of drop-down navigation. I'll show you on another page is actually really bad. It's just messy and it's hard to figure out, but we're going to go ahead and go in here to one of these category pages. So we're on their collection page now.
Category page.
Excuse me, category page.
Yeah, so we've moved into a category page, and literally the only goal of your category page is to give them the ability to sort and filter their products so that they can find what they're looking for. It's not designed to do anything other than improve navigation and narrow their choice. So literally above the fold, they still have the same problems in the banner, and I'm assuming they're going to have those all the way through the site. But this does not do anything for me to help me narrow my focus.
I don't even see a product yet.
Right. Or to select my category to drop it down one more time. So literally they're forcing me to scroll.
And on mobile, again, guys, let's just take a look. Let's see. We might get lucky. Hopefully it gets rid of that image. It's better because it shrinks a little bit, but still not that great.
To have the default filters show 15 doesn't narrow a selection by the filters that you actually want the customer to narrow by. So it's just done wrong.
The other thing is that two of the top 3 products that are shown are both sold out. And above the fold, you can kind of see the sold out icon. But so one thing is that number one, if your product's sold out, it should either be hidden or pushed to the bottom so that it's not invading people's search. Because if they click on it and they can't buy it, it's irritating. But if they know it's sold out, it's not an irritation. So get it out of the way and push products that can actually make you money up. And the other thing, along with what Matt was saying with these kind of categories, is these aren't conducive to shopping and filtering makeup, right? There's no color, there's no tone, there's nothing like that. So
featured could actually be a drop down of the different items that they do. Like it could be an eyeliner, it could be a lipstick, it could be this skin stuff, skin frost, things like that. Not A to Z, Z to A, and highest to lowest.
So the other thing is they're using like a hover image rotate, right? Which is okay, except for the fact that they're having their image fade out and then showing up with a ghost button, which is a button that doesn't draw attention unless hovered over, which is the exact opposite of what a button's supposed to do. So there's no hero image here, and they're using the image rotator, but they're fading out the image that people are actually hovering over because they want to see it.
So the other thing is they're trying to use their category page to sell, which is improper, like we said just a few minutes ago. The purpose of the category page is to filter and to provide better navigation. And they're already asking you to add this to the cart with literally zero detail other than the price of what it is and not even a good product image. So what are the chances that they're going to actually add it to cart unless they're 2 of the 100 people that have visited, or probably a lot more than that?
Yeah, because they're getting a lot of traffic.
Conversion percentage is very, very good when you see the rest of the store. but like the chances of them going, oh yeah, this is the exact product I want, and I'll buy it with zero detail, is it's a huge assumption.
So the button label is what Matt's talking about, should be different, right? It should be learn more, see more,
and
get the details.
To a product page, not take them to the cart.
Correct. Take them straight into the product page, which they can get to with the quick view, possibly. Let's see what it does. Nope.
Yeah. And again, we've never found a quick view to convert better than taking them to
and then let's see, page. Can I actually get to the, well, let's try another product and just see. So let's go quick view. Can I actually, so only because I know that that's a hyperlink, I can actually get to the product page.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we finally got off the category page after having to sort through products that weren't for sale, having to filter them ourselves and not be able to find what we actually wanted very quickly. Okay.
And not actually want to add it to the cart, but
correct.
Instead of, we had to go quick view, then go to another view to get to the product page, when instead they should have been able to just click it and take us here.
And none of that was intuitive. It only works because Matt and I both actually know how to navigate Shopify stores that are messed up, right? So your average user, now you may know how to do it. If you own Jeffree Star, you're like, oh, I can figure that out. I know how it goes right here. But you're not your user, okay? Your user has no experience with your site and doesn't know that. Now they land on this page and we got a whole bunch of other problems going on.
Yeah.
The first and biggest problem is that there is no add to cart button above the fold, because they put all the text, which they made it very hard to read, of course, too, which is awful.
Yeah, it's gray on white.
Put the text up there.
Black on white is the least amount of cognitive load, so it's easiest to read. And then they literally, I don't know why they would say limit 2 per customer first. I think that they should maybe put that down by the add to cart button. It shouldn't be the very first thing that you talk about. The other thing is, we talked about this earlier, there's several good value propositions inside of this description. It's just hidden inside the description. What this should be, it should be a bullet points so that people can browse through. And then the product details should be down behind a tab so that you're not forcing them to read through this entire thing to find the information that is important to them as a user.
Now, this is, we're saying a lot of negatives, right? This is a really bad product page. It probably has very dismal conversion rates compared to what it could have, okay? Now, we haven't seen the data, and all these changes that we're saying we would change, we would do testing. We would do testing before we actually made the change, but we would say, hey, this is something we know to be a problem. Let's test the change, okay? But what we're suggesting to you so you can see it is what we would want to test and change, okay? Now, saying that it's a terrible product page, yes. But the thing is, this product has some great benefits to it and some really winning components that could help it convert like crazy. Things like this product is vegan, cruelty-free, talc-free, paraben, and gluten-free. Those are all value propositions.
And probably valuable to his audience.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I would think that's part of the reason why it has so much traffic is because he's got a connection with them for something.
Yeah. And, you know, vegan and cruelty-free are a big thing in makeups. I know, like, my wife has gone through a ton of different makeups because she found out that after she was using a brand, she found out that they weren't cruelty-free. They were tested on animals and they were all kinds of things, or they were made out of stuff that was actually really bad for your body. And, you know, this is a big thing in makeup. So the fact that it has it's a clean production product that's made like in a healthy way, so to speak, you should call that out in visible ways. What's the other one?
Also, the way that people, the way that you want to offer the information to them is where they can scan it.
Yeah.
And so this is not really scannable. Bullet points with these different things, these unique values that they offer is a really good way to present the information. And this is just not done that way. This is more like a wall of text.
Correct. And there's also a way, like we alluded to a little bit, but I'll just lay it out in exactly the format that this page should follow for optimal conversions. Okay, you got your image here. That image is actually a pretty good image. Then you got skin frost, mint condition title. Right underneath that should be reviews in Amazon coloring, right? Right below that should be the price, potentially the regular price if there's a sale price, but the price right there. Below that should be any variations or your quantity box. And right below that should be your add to cart button. Below that is where you have your product description, which should ideally be broken down into tabs or bulleted lists or something that makes the text easier to go through. That format puts all the most valuable, most important stuff up above the fold and allows them to browse the information that they need at the right time. You want to talk about the ingredients real quick?
Yeah, I would just say that another variation to what he just said that I think would work well is also is by your add to cart button, put 2 or 3 of the bullet
Oh, good
points
point.
that are not hidden behind a tab. So it literally could say vegan, cruelty-free, talc-free as one of the bullet points. The other one, in the first paragraph,
Beauty tip,
it
right?
says that, it's a beauty tip. So it literally could be its own thing. This product can be used on face, eyes, and body. A little goes a long way. It can be used wet or dry, depending on your desired intensity. So, I mean, obviously summarize that into the bullet points. So it could be the uniqueness of how the product is created and then how to use it and the variation of that. But to have them literally use the ingredients of which I probably can pronounce maybe a third of them.
I got magnesium.
Yeah, at best. Above the fold and pushing the add to cart button off the page is just a really poor use of that space.
Now, showing the ingredients in a product like this is very important. Okay. We're not saying not use it, but it should be bulleted so they can scan it easily. And it should be behind a tab that they can open if they want it. They shouldn't be forced to consume it to get to the other information that they do want.
Yeah. And by using tabs on a product page, you can literally offer all the information at one click rather than forcing
one
them
framework
to go through the entire amount of text to find what they're looking for.
Yep.
And here, I honestly think that they don't give enough information.
Mm-hmm.
Like people care about the shipping and delivery times,
return policy.
Yeah, they care about that, the return policy, all of those things, which you can literally put behind 3 tabs that would then eliminate all of the space that's used improperly.
Now, I know what people are going to say when you say that, because we've had them say it all the time, right? They're like, oh, that's in my FAQ, which is up at the top.
Yeah, which doesn't show up very well.
No, yeah, go ahead.
The FAQ is really, in my opinion, it's the way for a lazy person to make their site answer questions. And most people don't even use it to answer questions. They make up questions that they want to sell. And so they say that's a frequently asked question, and they're trying to make a sale through there. If you're going to use a FAQ, it should truly be a lot of questions that people are asking and the information that they want to know. But if they're asking those questions, it means that your website is not answering it.
Where that should answer it.
Right. So you should literally go through your website and use these questions that come into your support desk and make your site better by answering the questions that people ask the most often. And
answering them where they should be at. If it's a product question like, what's the size of this product, or what's the container made out of? And you like that's.
I don't even think it says how many ounces it is.
Yeah, it does right here. Over it.
Okay, yeah, but still you have to search to figure that out. Like, so literally the product details are difficult. Yeah.
So the FAQ, if it's a question that gets asked a lot, that should be your indicator that your product page or the page that question is coming from is inadequate, not an excuse to beef up your FAQ.
Right. And don't use your FAQ as a place to sell. Use it as a place to answer questions. People know if your questions are baloney.
Yep. Interesting. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and
add to cart.
Add to cart. Well, actually, let's finish scrolling. So there's nothing else on this page besides that. Well, let's talk about the footer real quick, because since we're here.
Wow, he's using Shopify Plus. That's
yeah,
cool.
He's got Plus, so he's definitely making enough money, because Shopify Plus is a $2,000 a month upgrade, which is great if you are needed, but a lot of stores don't.
And it's been copyrighted since 2016, so he's obviously not even updated his footer.
Yeah, so this is a simple piece of code that can auto update every year. You don't even have to manually do it, but you want your site to be relevant, because one of the big things about your site is also KLT, right? Know, like, and trust. So they're going to look around it, and anything that takes away from that trust factor, old copyrights, no proof elements, hard to read, looks spammy, things like that are going to reduce the conversion rate on this stuff.
And white on light blue is hard
to read. Also, the social icons, cool that they're down here. It's better to have them down here than somewhere else. Yeah. But the newsletter sign up.
Yeah. There's a zero value proposition there as to why they would want to sign up. And typically most people won't, because that's how it's presented. If you look at some of our other trainings or go to the YouTube channel where you explain the footer hack, it's just newsletter sign up is done wrong as well.
Yeah, there's no reason for them to do that. Now the other thing is what's crazy is we come in contact with so many thousands and thousands of stores a year. I'd say 70+% of these stores don't even have that hooked up to anything.
Right.
It's not even connected to an autoresponder or an email capture or
when
anything.
Someone does enter it,
it doesn't
go
work
anywhere.
So what this should be doing is, yeah, you can have it, but chances are, if you're a store, you don't have a newsletter. And if you do, what is so cool about it? But if you don't have a newsletter, either get rid of that field completely or change it to something where it gives them an instant coupon or something that would make them want to give you their email address so that you can then follow up with them. All right. So, okay, let's go back up and let's check the cart out. Okay.
It's going to go away in a minute here, but literally, what is the point of doing that, bringing that pop-up up that sits there for 3 or 4 seconds while they're trying to read it and figure out what it is, and then it disappears? So did I actually add something to my cart?
It says it did.
Yeah, or did I not? So do I want to continue shopping? I'm automatically continuing shopping by that thing going away.
So why not just take me to the cart, right?
Yeah, yep, and then give me that option there.
And
literally what you're doing is they've said, yes, I like this product. I want to
take me to the cart.
Start shopping. And then what you've done is you've put a disconnect into it.
Yeah. So the whole goal at this point is once they're on the product page, like Matt said, you started the shopping process with them. Now they've taken the next step saying, I want to shop. I'm ready to purchase, right?
Now that's the shopping process started.
And now, so the only goal is on this page, get them to add to cart. The next page, the only goal is to get them to proceed to checkout, not delay them by adding anything else. So now let's get to the cart. Okay. So that's interesting. So if I go up here, I can actually see the shopping cart, but when I scroll, it turns into a white menu, which is even harder to read, and just the icon, but I can't even, or not the icon, an indicator.
So now I can view your cart.
Yeah, but if I didn't hover over that, I wouldn't even know that's my cart.
Right. So
let's view the cart. And now we get into the cart. Okay. So you want to start?
Sure.
He's like,
yeah. So one, having your navigation in your cart is terrible.
Just your logo and header and move on.
Again, at this point, literally the only thing that you should be showing them is the logo, your shopping cart, the number of items that are in it, the sign in or create account should be gone. All the navigation should be gone. It should say my cart or whatever to let them know what page that they're on. And then let's go down to the things that you should have on your cart should be your product image so that they can see what they just bought, the number of them, and then the ability to remove it, add or subtract.
However, we have to manually update our cart when we change the quantity.
Which is crazy for a Shopify Plus store to literally not be set up to manually.
This is super simple and old technology.
Yeah.
The auto update functionality has been there for years and years and years. And I don't know what just happened there.
I don't know.
Some kind of glitch.
Yeah. But so then the other thing is each page should have a hierarchy of focus, and it's super clear. This one doesn't have one. What is my next action to do? Am I actually proceeding to checkout, which is where I would enter my information and then pay for it? Or am I getting a shipping estimate, or am I actually using PayPal or Amazon Pay? Now, one of the things that we know and has been documented very well is that you actually reduce conversions by offering the PayPal and Amazon Pay at this point rather than farther along where they actually enter their payment information. I don't know why. I've always thought that the PayPal button should convert better here, but there's a secondary thing. It doesn't convert better here. There's a secondary reason why you don't want this. And that is because if they click here, they've never entered their email or their customer information. So that if they abandon through the PayPal process or the Amazon Pay process, you've lost those other modalities that you can actually use for your abandoned cart, which should be 20 to 25% of your revenue that your store takes is recovering those customers that got through this part of this far into the shopping process. And it doesn't mean that they didn't want it. It means they might have got distracted. Something came up.
Shopping at work,
life happened. Yeah, kids came home. A million things could happen. It doesn't mean they didn't want the product. They got interrupted.
Yep.
And so, or maybe they decided they didn't want to buy the product now. And when you do use your abandoned cart follow-up process, you get them to come back and buy maybe a discount or just a reminder or whatever, but you've lost the ability to do that by offering these payment buttons at this point of the process.
Now in the cart as well, getting the shipping estimates and all that, all these are just distractions. They're already going to get shipping options when they get to the shipping page.
Yeah, they're exit points.
Yeah, you're giving them an excuse to get out of the cart. And the most important thing they can do in the cart is click this proceed to checkout button.
Yeah.
Okay. The other thing is the proceed to checkout button also is in reverse. It either should be static or stay bright, not get dimmer when they click on it.
And then the continue shopping, literally up there. So we use arrows and icons a lot in our sites, and we've tested them with everything that we do. To have the arrow say continue shopping and point to the right,
which is into the checkout,
is incongruent with what they think.
Yeah.
That means they're supposed to go towards the checkout
to shop more
as the process goes. Continue shopping, if they're going to use any type of arrow at all, which we don't
agree with,
it should be backwards, like, hey, go back to the site to shop. And so literally you have to process that through your mind. Like, why are they saying this?
Yep. So, and the other thing is there is no, now I want to just add one more thing on the PayPal thing. So PayPal and Amazon, are we saying not use them? No, Matt I want to just clarify because people jump to the wrong conclusion that we're saying take those off. We understand what a huge percentage of revenue PayPal can be for certain niches. Yeah. Most is 30. Yeah. Now, all we're saying is suppress it until the payment information page of the checkout. Now, at this point in the process, it would be a good idea to let them know that you do accept PayPal and what credit cards you accept using icons. The other thing that this cart is missing is any form of trust, social proof, or anything that makes them like feel valid in that this cart is a safe cart.
How many customers have you shipped? Yeah. How long have you been in business? How many reviews do you have? Any of that stuff would be very simple to add to your cart here.
Without becoming a distraction.
Yeah, besides get shipping estimates.
So we're here. We're going to go ahead and proceed to checkout now.
If anything, like get shipping estimates. Is your shipping so expensive that I need
it's a
to
scare
know
off,
that before
right?
I'm going to buy?
Yeah. So this is another big thing right here. So one of the most important things about Shopify or about any checkout process, the checkout is the scary part for the customer because it's where they're entering their personal details, their credit card information, and that's where they think that the bad stuff's going to happen. So the most important thing you can have is congruency between your store and your cart, okay? Or I mean, and your checkout. By adding this random image here and changing the color palette of their site, it actually creates a disconnect. It's like, wait, did I just go to a different site? Is this still safe? Is it secure? Where am I?
And the crazy thing about this, like I literally didn't know it was a Shopify Plus store until you scrolled all the way down to the footer.
Yeah.
They're spending $2,000 a month to unlock the ability to go ahead and alter this code here.
Fully optimize this checkout.
And literally, as you're going to see, like they've done nothing to it.
No.
Literally nothing. It still says company optional, which should be removed. There's zero reason for that to be there.
And the reason for this is in any kind of form, whether it's an opt-in form, a checkout form, a survey, whatever, any extra field that they have to enter text in, the more fields there are, every extra field reduces the amount of conversion. Okay. So because the fewer the fields, the better.
And the other thing is there's been lots of studies and data collected. People are okay with giving you the information if you tell them why you need it. And so as we go through some of these form fields here, you're going to see that literally they're asking for information with no rhyme or reason why they have it. So what you're doing is you're creating friction for them to go through this process here, which is literally, this is the most valuable page on your entire site.
And the information that you actually need.
Yes.
Like email field, right?
Yep.
You need their real email, but people are so tired of being spammed or whatever else. A lot of times they'll give you a fake email.
So yeah, so here, regardless of whether it's a plus or not, you can edit the text in that form field. So it could literally say email for confirmation, order confirmation or order details, so that they go, oh, okay, I want my order details. I'm going to give you my best email, which is what you want, because that's the one that you can follow up with them. That's when you can send them delivery notifications, give them, like, manage their expectations once they've bought from you. Now, company, literally nobody needs to enter their company field for the receipt to be written off. So they could still put their name in, or they could put their company name in the first name field. That is one whole field that I would guarantee that 99.8% of people will never fill out. And literally what you're doing is you're forcing them to go past that.
Next one would be the secondary address field. This, you don't actually want to get rid of this, but you have the ability, especially with Plus, to reduce that field behind a little short link that has to be clicked to open it up. So it's not in your face unless you need it.
Right.
And again, we're reducing the amount of cognitive load that happens on this page so they can flow through it faster and only open things that they need.
Again, the foam field is literally, we consider it the most valuable. So in our opinion, the most important.
It's also the one that's spoofed the most, right? It's the one that you get the most errors in when people put in fake phone numbers.
So we track the errors here. And when we edit the text in here to say for order notifications, we get the proper number. So literally they can edit that text. They'll give you the phone, and the people that we serve abandoned cart through the SMS it converts at almost 30%, which is higher than any other area on the entire store, bar none.
Yep. And
it's 30% on the most valuable page on your entire store. So literally by not doing this form properly, you're giving up about 30% of the revenue that your store should have regularly.
So those are just some field issues. Now we get down to the bottom, and your major call to action button is incongruent with the colored scheme from the rest of your site. All of your call to action buttons should have the exact same look, feel, everything.
And they're like blue and went to gold.
If we go back,
it's black.
We'll return to cart real quick just to show you. It's purple or pink or gold, whatever you want to look here. But then you move into the checkout and it turns black. Okay. And they add that crazy image up top. So you want this to be congruent as well. You can also add an icon here. And
what forms of payment that you're going to
down here.
So that literally
payment icons.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because again, this is the right information at the right time, right?
Yeah.
Now they're thinking, okay, well, do I even want to continue if they don't take my form of payment? Okay. So like in my personal opinion, not opinion, but case, if I'm on a store and I like to pay with American Express. Okay. I like it, but one of my biggest pet peeves, and I won't buy from stores, that if I can't check out with American Express, and if they keep it blind, I get more angry, right? So if they would just tell me, oh no, I don't take it, I wouldn't be mad. But when you try to input the credit card details, and then you can't check out because they don't take it, that's irritating. Yeah. All right. So again,
you've taken a possibly a good relationship and made it a bad one, and they're not coming back.
Yeah, absolutely. So now the same thing what we did with the secondary address field is you can do with the gift card field. If this field is open, they're naturally going to think, oh, should I go try to find a gift code? Should I Google coupon code, or should I go back and look in the site?
And how many of those codes are bogus? So they go find when they bring it back, and then you go, oh yeah, no, we don't offer that, or no, that code's expired. All that you've done again is frustrate them with you, not with the coupon code that was given somewhere else. It's another exit point.
Yeah. So we hide this behind another clickable thing that they have to expand. Have a coupon code, click here, and it expands.
Yeah.
But it's only open when they have it. So if they don't have one, they don't stress about it. They just keep moving on.
Yeah.
And then the other thing is, again, on here is the KLT factor is severely lacking. There's no phone number. There's no support email. There's no social proof that other customers have gone before them. There's no reviews. There's nothing. And with Shopify Plus, it's so easy.
Customize all of this.
Yeah. With regular Shopify, you can do everything we're talking about. We can do too, and you can do it. The problem is Shopify Plus makes it 10 times easier because they unlock everything for you. It's nuts not to be leveraging this. This is the most valuable real estate in the shopping process, and they're just not doing anything with it. Okay, so that's just a quick walkthrough. What do you
you can go to the next one, because right here another thing that you can do.
You got to enter all this.
Oh, yeah. You just put in a fake information, because there's a couple of things I can talk about on the. Oh my goodness, that's tough.
Wow, so these fields are in the wrong order.
Addresses are provided in the drop down below the field. Please make.
Okay, I just want to click into valid.
I'll just click that. Yeah, there you go. All right. They're literally trying to force you to leave. One more number.
Okay. And the error field never cleared, even after it was correct. It still said it was wrong. Right. So you saw that. And yeah, we were trying to enter a spoof email address and all that kind of stuff. But the fact of the matter is anybody would have had that same error putting in their real information, and it would have come up every single time unless they saw exactly what was going on. So
I will say their shipping is really expensive, $11.70 for how light that product is.
For that little thing, it's not even 0.38 of a gram.
Yeah, there's a lot of profit here, which is good. I'm not going to knock them for that. And the other thing that they are doing well here is they're literally stating how long each one of these shipping options are. Most people don't do that.
Correct.
And that's what I was going to point out. So they've done a very good job here. It's X amount of money, and this is when you can expect your product. And that is done very well, which I'm shocked, but I think they did a great job.
And having the multiple options.
Yeah.
I mean, this is FedEx ground and 2-day, whatever, but a lot of times there's only, you should allow for people who wanted to pay more to have a faster option, or a priority or a gift wrapped option or something. They will pay more if you just give them the option.
And I will say, I now after reading through it, I don't think they did a very good job, because 3 business days is $11.70, but FedEx 4 business days is $15.32. So you can spend an extra $4 or almost $4 to wait an extra day.
Or how about FedEx 2-day, which takes 3 days?
Right. So
which is a disconnect there, and it's triple the price.
Yeah. So literally, they tried to do it right. They just haven't really followed through on the details, which makes it even more wrong and more confusing.
Yeah.
So as I read through it to see what my actual options are, I would say that they did it wrong with good intentions.
Yeah. So with that, guys, this is just a real quick down and dirty run through of, some of the top level stuff. Now, guys, we could spend probably an hour on every page and not even scratch the surface of all the things that we could improve on this site to make it better.
Or show variations.
Yeah, or show variations. Yeah, correct. Now, with that said, we're not saying this is a bad site. It's actually obviously doing something very well. They're the #1 traffic site on Shopify. They're getting the most traffic of anything. And they're probably making a lot of money. But imagine how much more money they could make if they just streamlined the buying process. Because what we just talked about in this roast is what we do at Build, Grow, Scale, which is called revenue optimization. We don't just optimize the conversion rate, which is easy. What do?
Lower the price.
Lower your price. You make less money, but you have a high conversion rate. Good job, right? It doesn't help you. So we focus on what is called revenue optimization, which is optimizing the entire buyer's journey from the time the click lands on the site through the purchase and any exit point along the way, as well as into the back end where the real money is made. So what we're showing you here is just some of the basic principles of what you can do to streamline that process. Because really, what is revenue optimization from a buyer's journey perspective? What are we doing?
We're trying to simplify the process to make it easy for the customer to purchase from you, and then for you to be able to build a relationship with them. That's optimizing your revenue, because they're going to want to know, or they will know, like, and trust you if you have a good product, you've done what you said, and you manage their expectations, and you've made it easy to shop.
Absolutely. So guys, if you enjoyed this, please leave a comment below. We'll answer. If you have a question, go ahead and throw it below. We'll get it answered. Also, if you'd like to learn more of this stuff, you can check out my book on Amazon, which has basically become the Bible of e-commerce, called eCommerce Evolved. Matt has read it 10 times. He actually just found out today that I wrote a book a couple of years ago. Actually, it was written the same year they copyrighted this site, 2016. But also, if you really like this stuff and you really want to learn how we do this for big brands, like marquee brands, Fortune 100 brands, as well as smaller stores down on the Shopify platform and other platforms, I highly encourage you to check out our live event coming up in July 22nd, 23rd, and 24th in Reno, Nevada. It's called Build, Grow, Scale Live, buildgrowscalelive.com. You can check it out there. I'll put the link in the chat below as well. It's a 2-day event with a 1-day optional advanced workshop following it. And it is literally probably the only place on the planet where you can find this kind of, step-by-step revenue optimization training.
Yeah, and we're expecting about 800 business owners, so there'll be a lot of other very smart people in the room that you can network with and see what they're doing or talk to them about what they're doing. It's just it's a great event.
Yeah, and I mean, as an example, what we're doing here is what we do every day for ourselves, for our clients, for our members. And last year at Build, Grow, Scale Live, we had 32 stores break the 7-figure mark using our revenue optimization principles that we actually did a big award show on stage and, rewarded them with their big plaques and everything, but all using exactly what we just showed you here, just taken even further. Okay. And so if you want to try this stuff, go ahead, apply some of this to your store. You'll see an immediate improvement. And if you like what you see and you want to do more of it, I highly recommend you join us at Build, Grow, Scale Live. This is 2019, July 22nd, 23rd, and 24th in Reno, Nevada. 4.5-star hotel, amazing, gorgeous hotel. And it's e-com only. There's no, I'm talking about the speakers. That's the cool part.
So we're not bringing in speakers from a whole bunch of different businesses all trying to pitch you something. It's literally all of our internal staff preparing presentations that all have to do with revenue optimization.
Yep. Revenue optimization taught by all internal full-time BGS experts that do nothing but revenue optimization all day, every day. No random outside speakers, all true experts teaching exactly what they do all day, every day on some of the biggest sites you've ever seen. And we're going to be sharing all that cool details and data with you for 3 days straight. So highly recommend you join us. And if not, hope you enjoyed this session and just keep track of it. Check our YouTube channel out. We do a lot of these. We're going to be doing more of them because they seem to be pretty popular. So with that said, have a great day and hope you enjoyed it. See ya.